Hello, everyone. My name is Angelo, and I am a passport brother. Sorry for the shaking the table. I'm a passport brother who brought his fiancee from Vietnam to the United States on a K1 Fiancée Visa. We got married. She's got her green card, and now we're living our lives together in the United States for now, and we're doing it together. And speaking of my wife, Nia, today I dropped her off at work. She found another job, which is close to our home. I live in a very nice neighborhood, and now she's within walking distance to her new job. And but I dropped her off today, and as I was driving there, I was looking around at the landscape grounds, and it's got an air of like being a circle, being a piazza, and all that kind of stuff. And so it was very beautiful, very elegant, very relaxing. And I thought about how it was 180 degrees different from how I feel when I used to go to my job, which I'm no longer there anymore. But we didn't have landscape grounds. We didn't have beautiful picturesque scenery. We didn't have the semblance of elegance and a walkability. You can walk through the neighborhood. We didn't have that. Well, I should say I didn't have that. And that led me to think about some of the things that I had worked really, really hard for my team to have them experience for themselves, because I come from a very diverse background in terms of employment and self-employment that none of them have ever experienced. They have no knowledge of it. They never worked for a Fortune 500 company or anything like that. So they don't know about those things that happen, within that framework of employment. But as I was driving my wife Nia to her new job, and thinking about my old friends, my work colleagues, and enjoying this very peaceful atmosphere in front of me, I was thinking that, or I should say, I realized that I was literally wasting my time trying to get these folks to want something more, to crave something more, to want to do something bigger with their lives, something bigger than just sitting down, following the playbook and collecting a paycheck. Um, and I was wrong because they didn't want it for themselves. They didn't want that kind of stuff. And it's part of me wants to say that it's because they haven't been experienced to it, and so they don't know what the difference is. But what I'm seeing really in out there in this culture is, people want things that they don't deserve, and so it's easy for them to dismiss it, because then they don't have to work harder. They dismiss it as not being relevant to their lives because then they don't have to work harder for it. And so I was wasting my time when I was trying to get them to want these things, to want to have a company that provided a good break room, to want to work for a company that provided, the smallest thing, snacks in there, to work for a company that had a summer picnic or a Christmas party or a 4th of July barbecue or any of those things. And they didn't care about it because they didn't know that exists out there in the world. And it's because my mindset is different. It's different from theirs. And if you're out there and you're feeling like there's this wall between you and your colleagues, or if you have left your old employment and nobody's reaching out to you just to say, hey, how you doing today? How you feeling today? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. If no one's doing that, it's because y'all's mindsets were always different. And chances are you ignored that because you wanted something better for them. Like I wanted something better for my team. They didn't necessarily want it better for them. There was one guy, I kept telling him, dude, you need to not be here. You need to not be here in this job. This is a dead end job for you because you're too young. I'm on the end of my employment career. So this is, and I'm in charge. So this is different for me than it is for you. You at the beginning of your employment career. You need to get out of here. And I told him, go to the military, get a degree, and then become a teacher because he loved history. He loved learning about history, like world history. And he would, know about these small little things that happen all over the world. And I was like, man, that's incredible. But he couldn't see that stuff. And that's an example of the things that the divide between you and your colleagues. So it's, some people are going to disagree with what I'm about to say, but it's because your thinking, your perspective is better than theirs. It's because your outlook is better than theirs. It's because your dreamscape, your plans, your goals and ambitions, the structure of it is better than theirs. And you can't want more for a person than they want for themselves. That is a losing battle. And for 10 years, I fought a losing battle trying to inspire my team, my colleagues to want more for themselves. When they were very complacent right where they are, because they didn't have to challenge, themselves. They didn't have to go against the status quo. They can fit neatly in this little box, in this little niche, and where they can be unseen and basically, stay out of trouble and not draw attention to themselves and just cruise along on their merry way. So think about this for a second. Your perspective, your mindset, your ideology of employment and the benefits of employment and how it can guide your life is better than theirs. And so you have to accept that and allow that separation to happen naturally. Now, there are a few cases of people who are in a certain environment, a certain situation, and it's because life is just, throwing them a bunch of curveballs and they're dealing with it. And that's different. There are those circumstances out there, but that's very, very different. Most of the time, for what I see in this current culture, people want to cruise. They want to cruise through life. They want to cruise through work. They want to cruise through their relationships. But they want the highest rewards for doing the bare minimum. And if that's not you, then you have to understand that means you are very, very different from a lot of people around you. And accept it. Accept the fact that sometimes the fact is you are better than the people around you. And then use that to inspire your own ambition, inspire more dreams, and use it to go further in your individual life. Because sometimes you can't think about the team, you can't think about the colleagues, because the colleagues are a dead weight and they'll weigh you down. sometimes you have to think about yourself, particularly when you're faced with challenges and things in life. So that's just what I wanted to talk about today as I drove my wife Nia to work on her new job, which is just up the street and very nice neighborhood. We were talking that right now it's just way too hot. It's like 99 degrees. But in the fall, she can probably, walk there and get a nice little bit of exercise in the morning, and it's safe, and it's literally like a straight shot down from my house. So that's all I wanted to say for you guys today. If you tune in, keep tuning in. I'll tell you about this little project I'm working on. I am currently in day 3 of a fast, and I'm fasting for some clarity, but also for some to change some things in my body, and it's been a challenge, but I will keep you guys abreast of it if you tune in, and with that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so that I can monetize this YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Deuces.